Hey there friends, and welcome to Laugh Napkin. My name is Frank, and today we're looking at two stories from r/IDontWorkHerelady. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I work in an architecture firm in a large building that also contains many other types of professional offices. The receptionist for my firm is on another floor. My office is on an upper floor in a corner, so it's not a logical place for people to go first when they come to our building and don't know where they're going. Nevertheless, it has a door directing to a main corridor, so lost people occasionally knock on it, which is why we have a sign on it with the name of our firm, and directing people to the receptionist on the third floor. Alas, the sign did not deter this middle-aged impatient lost lady and her husband from knocking on my door. Lady, is this the doctor's office? No, this is an architecture firm. How do I get to the doctor's office? There are building directories in the stairs and at the elevator. I start to give her directions to the stairs and elevator, but she interrupts me. Lady is now getting huffy and impatient, pushing away past me right into the middle of my office. Why can't you just tell me where the doctor's office is? I'm sorry, but there's a lot of offices in this building, including at least 10 doctor's offices, and I don't know their floors or office numbers. Can't you call and find out? I'd be happy to let you use my phone. Why can't you call? I'm now thinking I'm not going to get rid of her unless I call somebody. I say, what's the doctor's name? Do you have the number? I don't remember his name. I have a 2:15 appointment. I'm going to be late. Note that this is not an elderly woman, and I just wasn't getting the sense that this was a confused old person with a memory issue. But I'm still trying to be nice and helpful, even if it's just to get her out of my office. I'm sorry, but without a name or number, I don't think I can call the doctor's office for you. Maybe I can Google this address and see what doctor's offices show up? Will that jog your memory? I don't have time for this. Call the building manager. I explained to the woman that I don't have contact info for building management, and there's no staffed main office in the building. We're back to there's nothing I could do except suggest that she walk down the hall and check the building directory at the stairs. Her husband is trying to drag her in that direction, but she's not having it. Lady, you're the worst receptionist. Businesses don't know how to get good people these days. I'm going to tell the doctor about you. I'm sorry, but I'm not the receptionist and I don't work for your doctor. I'm an architect. You're in my office. In case that isn't obvious from the fact that the door opens directly into my small, messy office filled with drawings. Our firm's receptionist is on the third floor, as the sign on my door says. Well, why didn't you say so? I'll go wait down there. Wait for what? We're an architecture firm. Our receptionist works for the architecture firm. We have nothing to do with the doctor's offices or any other companies in the building. You call her and tell her I'm on my way down. At this point, her husband seems to be grasping that I and my office and my firm have nothing to do with her doctor whose name escapes her, and starts trying to explain it to her. She brushes him off and yells at me again to call my receptionist. I dial our receptionist with the lady still standing there, and say that a couple is on their way down, but that they're looking for a doctor's office in the building, and I hope that they will read the building directory in the stairs on their way down. Lady, well, I've never before actually heard that phrase used in real life. I thought it was reserved for those caricatures of uptight, entitled old women on TV, like Nellie Olson's mother. She flounced off down the hall. That's like stopping, but floatier because she was suspended by hot air, dragging her husband. I thought that since they had to use the stairs or elevator to get to our reception area, they would see the directory on their way down, and it would jog their memory as to which doctor they were looking for, and it would tell them where to find that doctor. But no, she did find her way down to pester our receptionist and told her that I was a horrible employee, and she was reporting me to the state medical board. A few years ago, I was a sweet summer child, freshly out of college with zero idea what I wanted to do with my life. I was a homeowner after maternal unit moved overseas and gave the house to me, and I decided to work for a house painting company for one summer while I got my metaphorical ducks in a row. The next summer, I was out of the painting business and working as an EMT, which meant sometimes I would have a full day or two off. 24 hours on, 48 hours off. I noticed my house was in some need of paint touch-ups, so I decided to do them myself. I had brushes, paint, nothing to do, and some beer. So I went at it one Tuesday afternoon. So I'm working on the frame of the front door, dressed in old painter whites and a t-shirt with the sleeves cut off. And I sit down to let the primer dry and have a beer. I'm happily perched on the front step when I notice a "can I speak to your manager" haircut with a face that looks like she just ate 12 lemons staring at me from the sidewalk. My front lawn is decently long and slopes down a hill, but I can see an artery pulsing in her neck from my spot. She had a dog next to her, so I just wave and say, "Cute dog." I guess my words broke the floodgates and unleashed upon me a verbal assault of which I understood about 30%. The gist: "How dare you drink on the job on this nice property? You don't deserve to sit there and waste the hard-earned money of the well-educated person that owns this place." While I'm pondering this, she's still spewing frothing condescension at me, which culminated in, "Uneducated, lazy, menial, free-loathing immigrant drunks like you are what is wrong with this country." Well, I'm white, like really white. Blonde hair, green eyes, born and raised in the good old US of A. Specifically in this house. Perhaps I look like some sort of insidious immigrant from far away, so I stand up and make my way down to her, but not before cracking open another beer. She's positively quivering with anger and indignation. Her dog is pulling at the leash to say hi to me, so I bend down to say hello back, when she says, "Well, what do you have to say for yourself?" I raise myself to my full 6'2" height, which towers over her little 5'0" self. She doesn't back down, and the following conversation ensues. "Hello, ma'am. What seems to be the problem?" She scoffs. "You, sitting there wasting the homeowner's money so you can get paid to be a lazy drunk." "Oh, I'm being paid. Seems odd. I didn't feel the need to pay myself for this, but I suppose that could be fun to try." Her, gears turning. "Pay yourself? Don't make me laugh. A deadbeat like you couldn't afford this house. You need an education for a real job." I'm wondering what her education fixation is all about, but not caring all that much. I just want to entertain her conversation enough to get her mad. Maybe her head will explode. "Well, I didn't buy this house. My mother did, but she left it to me when she moved overseas after I graduated from college." Her smirking. "Oh, did you go to local community college? Known for not being that great? Only someone working as a painter would go there." Me. "Actually, if you look at my shirt, you'll see it says Ivy League School Athletics, which is where I attended school and played a sport. I'm in good shape because of that, so I figured I would keep that up by working on improving my own home while having a few beers to cool off in this heat. Did you attend community college? Because if so, I can see how you might not be able to understand that. Disclaimer, nothing wrong with that community college. It's where I got my EMT license. I just wanted to watch her boil, and boy did she. Her eyes widen bigger than I thought possible, and her mouth starts working like elderly folks do when they've lost a lot of teeth. Lots of lip twisting. This culminates in her tilting her ugly head back and spitting on the front of my shirt. "You probably stole that from someone, you ungrateful piece of garbage." Okay, wow. Not sure what I'm ungrateful for, and ew. Germs. So I tell her that it's been fun and that I'm going to continue work and turn to walk back up the lawn. She grabs the back of my shirt and attempts to pull me backwards. Doesn't work, so I spin around and smack her hand off me. She flops like a Premier League soccer player, flinging herself all over my lawn, howling like she's been shot. She lets go of the dog's leash, so he comes over to me for pets, happy as a clam. Her yodeling has brought some neighbors out of their homes, including my cool next door ones. They come over and I give them the story, and ask for their phone to call the cops. Mine was inside charging. They laugh and hand it over. I let the cops know that some kook canoe was gyrating loudly on my lawn. Could they please come and remove her? I return to my work. My cool neighbors probably have started making popcorn. A little while later, I hear the cops arrive. Crazy is still singing her effed up opera and starts screaming at the cops a story of a belligerently drunk squatter who chased her with a baseball bat and broke her arm in multiple places. Her talons point to me. So I come down there and tell the cops the whole story. They crack up. Apparently they know the nutcase by name, and so they tell her to call her husband to get the dog again and cuff her for trespassing and disorderly conduct. Dog hung out with me until the husband, apologizing profusely, came and got him. He also informed me that they're in divorce proceedings, so that may have made her crazier than usual. Never saw the lady again, thank God, but have developed a neighborly friendship with her ex and the pup. All's well that ends well. I know I said this would be 2 stories from r/IDontWorkHereLady. This next story is a bonus story that was posted to r/IDontWorkHereLady, but I don't really think it goes along with the r/IDontWorkHereLady, but nevertheless, it is a good story, so here we go. I used to be a service consultant at a Mercedes-Benz dealership. A guy in his 20s just bought an older car and comes in for the first time, so I help him out. I get all his info and create a new customer profile in our database. This takes about 5 to 10 minutes, so I usually casually talk to the customer during the process. I noticed he looked tired as hell, so I asked him if he worked 3rd shift or something, since it was about 8 in the morning. He mentions he's been up all night as a bodyguard for his wife. He hands me a camouflage business card with her camgirl name and web address all over it. He casually mentions, if you ever get feeling a little lonely, give her a look online. She does Skype shows, phone calls, and other stuff too. I put the card on my desk. He signs the repair order and I verify the phone number I'll need to call later that day to get approval for repairs. A few hours later, after the technician has diagnosed the car's problem, I call the number and a woman answers. We'll refer to her as Camgirl. Hey there, it's OP from Mercedes. Camgirl in a quiet bedroomy voice. Did you send the picture? I'm sorry? I'm not sure what you mean. You're supposed to send me a picture of yourself before we start playing. Then maybe we'll meet up. I apologize again, but I don't know what you're talking about. I started to wonder if I dialed the wrong number. Right here, I realized this is the wife, and she thinks I'm trying to party. Me. This is OP from the Mercedes-Benz dealership. I'm calling about your Mercedes-Benz. Your car needs to be serviced, not me. Camgirl's voice changes instantly and she starts talking normally. Oh, so what's going on with the car? After the call, I took the business card and ran back to the shop to tell all the techs what happened. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video and I appreciate all the support from you guys. You guys are the best. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.